From Chaos to Clarity, Life Lessons in Resilience. 1. Analysis and interpretation of findings. When we really dive deep into From Chaos to Clarity, one important truth stands out. Resilience isn't some secret superpower only a chosen few are born with. It's actually something we build, little by little, moment by moment, experience by experience. Through the real-life stories shared in this study, we learn that moments of deep chaos, whether it's the pain of losing someone we love, falling flat in our careers, or feeling like life just turned upside down, often become the very seeds of our strongest personal growth. These findings remind us that resilience isn't about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. It's through our toughest, messiest, and most confusing moments that we often find parts of ourselves we never knew existed. Have you ever looked back at a difficult season and realized it shaped you into someone stronger? Hold on to that thought, because we're about to connect this with some really powerful psychological theories. This study's insights fit beautifully with what some major experts have shared. Maston calls resilience ordinary magic, a phrase that feels so hopeful, because it means this strength isn't rare or unreachable. It's within all of us. Richardson's model reminds us that real growth often starts after life throws us off balance. And Tedeschi and Calhoun's work on post-traumatic growth shows that, when we reflect and heal intentionally, even deep pain can lead us to greater wisdom, strength, and joy. So basically, it's not about avoiding pain. It's about what we do after the pain hits. Isn't that empowering to realize? Stick around, because next we'll see what this means for our everyday lives. Ultimately, what we find is that resilience is a beautiful, ever-changing blend. It's part personal effort, part environment, and part the meaning we create from what we go through. Every heartbreak, every loss, every comeback, all of it becomes woven into the story of who we are becoming. Are you ready to explore how this understanding can change the way we support ourselves and others? Let's jump into that next. 2. Implications of the findings. Now, if resilience is something we can grow over time, then the way we teach and encourage resilience has to change too. From Chaos to Clarity invites us to see resilience building not as a quick fix after things fall apart, but as an everyday habit, something that should be part of our schools, our workplaces, our communities, and even our families. Imagine if, instead of waiting for a crisis to teach us about bouncing back, we built those skills slowly, patiently, like planting a garden. In schools, this could mean showing students how to deal with failure, disappointment, and change, instead of pretending that success is the only goal. In workplaces, it could mean building cultures that allow people to fail, learn, and grow without fear or shame. Doesn't it sound freeing to think about living in a world where setbacks are seen as stepping stones, not as labels of failure? I'm excited to show you more. Therapists, counselors, and coaches could also shift their focus, not just helping people get over their struggles, but helping them find deeper meaning and strength in what they've survived. Instead of aiming for normal, resilience reminds us to aim for better, wiser, deeper versions of ourselves. And perhaps most powerfully, this study expands our understanding of resilience. It's not about going back to how things were. It's about growing into a clearer, more purposeful, and more adaptable version of who we're meant to be. Pretty powerful stuff, right? Next, let's talk about what actually helped and what made resilience harder for the people in the study. 3. Factors influencing the results. So, what helped people move from chaos to clarity? According to this research, 3 big things made a real difference: strong social connections, knowing effective coping strategies, and having a natural tendency toward optimism. In simpler terms, having good people around you, knowing a few ways to handle stress, and believing deep down that better days are possible. Those who practiced reflection, like keeping journals, having meaningful conversations, or seeking therapy, were especially good at turning tough times into powerful growth moments. Think about it for a second. What's one small practice that's helped you heal or grow through a tough time? It's pretty amazing how even tiny habits can make a huge impact, right? However, not everyone had the same opportunities. Some participants faced systemic barriers that made resilience feel much farther out of reach. Things like financial hardship, cultural taboos about showing vulnerability, or living under constant stress without time to recover, all got in the way of emotional healing. This tells us something really important. Resilience isn't just about being strong enough. It's also about whether the world around us gives us the support we need to build that strength. It makes you wonder, how can we be part of building communities and systems that help, rather than hinder resilience? We're getting into the real heart of it now. Let's take a closer look at the challenges researchers faced. 4. Research limitations. Even though From Chaos to Clarity shines a beautiful light on resilience, no study is perfect. It's important to step back and look critically at what might have shaped the results. First, the group of participants wasn't super diverse. Most came from similar backgrounds, so the lessons we learn here might not apply equally to every culture, every community, or every life situation. Have you ever noticed how your own background affects the way you handle challenges? It's an important reminder that everyone's resilience journey is uniquely shaped by where they come from. Also, because the participants were asked to remember past experiences, there's always a chance their memories were tinted, sometimes remembering things better, sometimes worse than they actually were. That's just how human memory works. Finally, resilience is super context dependent. What helps someone bounce back in a supportive work environment might not work in a chaotic home life. So, while these findings are powerful, we have to apply them thoughtfully. Still with me? Great! Because up next, we'll talk about how future studies can build an even clearer, richer picture of resilience. 5. Recommendations for future research. Building on the strong foundation of From Chaos to Clarity, future research has so much exciting ground to cover. First, researchers need to include more people from different walks of life, people of different cultures, incomes, backgrounds, and experiences. Resilience wears a lot of different faces, and we'll never understand its full beauty until we listen to all the voices. Wouldn't it be amazing to hear resilience stories from around the world? To see all the different ways people turn pain into power? Another important step is following people over long periods of time. Instead of capturing one moment, we could track resilience as it grows, shifts, and deepens through all of life's seasons, from adolescence to adulthood, or from career changes to retirement. Researchers could also mix methods, not just asking people to share their feelings, but combining it with brain scans, stress hormone tracking, or behavioral observations to really understand what's happening under the surface. And finally, future studies should pay closer attention to how bigger systems, like education policies, workplace cultures, and healthcare access, either lift people up or weigh them down when they're trying to rebuild their lives. Ready to hear the biggest takeaway from all of this? Let's bring it home in the conclusion. 6. Conclusion. At the end of the day, From Chaos to Clarity teaches us something beautiful. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about transforming because of it. It's about using every storm, every challenge, every messy, heartbreaking experience as fuel for a wiser, stronger, more compassionate life. It's not about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward, into deeper wisdom, clearer purpose, and greater emotional strength. And here's the best part. Resilience isn't rare. It's not reserved for superheroes. It's something every single one of us has the potential to build, with the right support, the right tools, and a little bit of hope. When we shift our thinking this way, when we see resilience as part of being human, not a prize for the toughest, we create a world that is softer, braver, and more encouraging for everyone. So if you're walking through chaos right now, remember, it's not a dead end. It's part of your story, and clarity is waiting on the other side. Thank you for staying with me on this journey today. Are you ready to start seeing your own resilience journey with new eyes? I can't wait to explore more with you. So stay tuned, because we're just getting started.